and the things in the darkness cannot enter the firelight. Anyway, at least for now you are temporarily safe. When this is said, the 10 people who were just entangled by the ghostly shadows were suddenly overjoyed. Great. Thank you. It was you who saved us. And Wang Destiny suddenly said to Pang Hu, one person doing good deeds can inspire 10,000 others. Do you know the meaning of this sentence? Rest well tonight. The road ahead is still long. The next morning, the campfire extinguished. The first night of the challenge was successfully passed. And Luoda, who was in the tent, also walked out. Everyone worked hard last night. His younger brother Luoming also followed closely and said, there's no time to waste. Let's pack up and set off now. Wang Destiny looked at Luoda, who was dressed similarly to himself. He couldn't help but mutter to himself, he actually looks half as handsome as me. Soon after, everyone finished packing up and then escorted Luoda and Luoming on their way to Bone City to protect them. However, just after 1 hour of walking, Luoda requested to take a short rest by the side of the road. After Luoda took a few sips of water, he asked Luoming if the monster really came last night. When Luoming nodded, Luoda asked the crowd about the casualties. When this was said, all the challengers present fell silent and unanimously lapsed into silence. Wang Destiny stared at Luoda and cursed him in his heart. You didn't hear the commotion last night? Luoming quickly reassured. They are very strong. We will definitely arrive safely at Bone City. However, Luoda was not optimistic. You know how strong the monsters are. Maybe last night was just lucky. However, Luoming waved his hand. Last night we relied on more than just luck. Upon hearing this, Luoda stood up directly and glanced at everyone. I know you all are wary of me and Luoming. But the task has been arranged in such a way that we have no choice. Believe it or not, we really don't have any hidden agendas. On the contrary, our mission is more complicated than yours. You only need to escort while we have to enter Bone City in the end. Everyone is a challenger coming to this ghostly place to fulfill their desires. I won't harm anyone, and there is no reason to harm anyone. So I hope that you all do not hold hostility towards us. Even if you don't believe, I hope you can prioritize the mission. Also, according to my mission clue, the people chasing me are villagers from Soul Returning Village. The reason for the chase is that my character previously passed by Soul Returning Village and found that the village was imprisoning many people. My character successfully rescued those innocent people, but also offended the villagers of Soul Returning Village and was being chased by them. My mission is to arrive alive in Bone City and expose the misdeeds of Soul Returning Village so that the villains receive their due punishment. So please everyone, no matter what, help me complete this mission. Thank you. After taking a brief rest, everyone continued their journey to Bone City. Lin Yushu couldn't help but ask quietly, according to what Luoda just said, does this desire world still engage in human trafficking? Wang Destiny also couldn't help but fall into contemplation. From the mission information provided by Luoda, Desire World seems to be a whole, and not simply a world composed of individual copies. At that moment, Jin Jia suddenly spoke up. Based on my previous experiences, including the information I obtained from others, the challenges of Desire World are not only the threats posed by various ghosts and monsters, but the challenges themselves are also extremely mind-boggling. I didn't say last night's ghostly figures were simple. I just feel like our main mission might be a bit too straightforward. At least it seems that way now. We don't need to collect any clues at all. Upon hearing this, Lin Yushu couldn't help but glance at Wang Destiny and asked, Old Wang, don't you think this scene feels familiar? Wang Destiny also nodded. The last challenge mission was about survival, but the seemingly clear task hit a big trap. If it weren't for Zhu Yao sacrificing herself, I estimate that the only one who would have survived in the end would have been Zhu Yao. Recalling the last challenge mission, the two couldn't help but stop in their tracks and turned around to look in unison. Then the two discreetly kept their eyes on Luoda, who was walking behind them. A bold guess instantly crossed their minds. Is the real task this time to prevent Luoda from reaching Bone City? The man was just glanced at. He almost lost his eyes. Just now, Lin Yushu and Wang Destiny actually suspected that the challenge this time was to stop the two Luoda brothers from reaching Bone City. But soon, Wang Destiny waved his hand and said, Stop guessing randomly. Let's all take our time to think carefully. What Luoda said may not necessarily be true. As long as he lies, there will definitely be flaws. Also, Bone City is not a place you can just reach by talking about it. When it's time to search for clues, remember to be cautious. An hour later, the group entered a dense forest, where a thick fog began to envelop the area. The girl in the group immediately panicked. Where did this fog come from? It's really eerie. The road ahead is completely invisible. The crowd couldn't help but stop in their tracks, completely unsure of where to go. Wang Destiny also decisively signaled that the fog was too thick. When I was packing my bags in the morning, I saw a bundle of ropes. Whose is it? Then he turned around and said, "Everyone line up in a single file, get closer." Little Lee passed the rope up to the front. The moment the words fell, Little Lee immediately opened his backpack and pulled out the rope. Wang Destiny did not say more and directly took the rope handed to her. Upon seeing Lin Yushu looking puzzled, Wang Destiny explained, "This fog is very eerie. By tying everyone together with a rope, even if someone is beguiled, we can discover it immediately, preventing anyone from getting lost." Upon seeing Wang Destiny tying himself up in a complicated manner, Lin Yushu couldn't help but ask in confusion, "Can't you just tie a loop around my waist directly? This elaborate binding makes me feel like the leading lady in an action movie." Ignoring his nonsense, Wang Destiny directly ordered Pang Hu and the others, "Use this rope to tie me up, extend it towards the back of the group, and wrap around one by one." Without questioning, everyone quickly tied the rope around their waists one by one. Luo Ming, who was walking at the back, immediately spoke up when he saw this and asked, "Rope, what are you doing?" But Wang Destiny frowned and spoke up. "Before explaining, I would like to ask, how did you all know that the monsters from Soul Returning Village would appear last night?" Seeing Luo Ming hesitate, Luo Da patted his shoulder and reassured him, "It's okay to tell him. The mission doesn't require us to keep it a secret." Upon hearing this, Luo Ming's expression improved and he spoke up. "The mission briefing we received last night warned us about the imminent arrival of a monster." Wang Destiny immediately asked if he had any new information. Luo Ming then shrugged his shoulders and shook his head, saying, "Not at the moment. Even so, we cannot be careless. What if there are no more clues coming up? Let's hope for a stroke of luck." Wang Destiny is very disdainful of the so-called gods. Blessing from the gods? If gods could really protect all beings, there wouldn't be so much suffering in this world. After saying goodbye to Luo Ming Luo Da, Wang Destiny continued to move towards the back of the team, making sure everyone was tied with a rope before returning to the front. However, Lin Yushu asked in puzzlement, "Old Wang, did you eat something bad? Your face looks so terrible." Wang Destiny responded with a serious look and asked, "We have a total of 18 people, right?" One of them nodded and said, "With Luoda and Luo Ming included, that's 20. Upon hearing this, Wang Destiny's face instantly turned ugly. One person is missing. As soon as these words came out, Lin Yushu's face immediately changed drastically. "No way, what's going on?" Wang Destiny quickly gestured for the two to speak softly and not to spread the news to avoid causing panic. However, at that moment, a strange voice suddenly came from behind Lin Yushu saying, "Where are you guys? I can't see you. Don't leave me behind." Just as Lin Yushu was about to say something, Wang Destiny immediately stopped and said, "Go check it out, but be careful." Then a figure slowly emerged from the mist, continuously calling out, "Don't leave me behind." Pang Hu immediately spoke upon seeing the situation, saying, "I remember this person. I saw him last night. He's one of us, a brother. Come over here quickly." Before meeting the person who was swaying, Lin Yushu quickly spoke up, "Brother, why are you running around like this?" Just as that figure was about to reach everyone, Wang Destiny suddenly realized that something was wrong. If he was lost, why would he appear in front of us? Just then, a sinister figure with hollow eyes and a ghastly expression suddenly rushed out and said, "Where are you?" After locking eyes with him for just a moment, Wang Destiny felt that something was not quite right. His eyes inexplicably welled up with 2 lines of bloody tears. Not only him, even Lin Yushu and Pang, who also encountered the same situation. Wang Destiny immediately thought to himself, "I've already lost my organs, I can't afford to lose my eyes as well. Could this level be?" At that moment, Pang Hu suddenly let out a scream. Wang Destiny immediately shouted, "Don't look at his eyes." The eerie man suddenly burst into laughter and said, "I can't see. Can I have your eyes, please?" Feeling a sharp pain in his eyes, Pang Hu immediately panicked. "My son is still waiting for me to go back. I cannot die here." In the blink of an eye, Pang Hu's head suddenly drooped. Then he let out a hoarse voice. "Where are you? I can't see." Pang Hu's eyes seemed to be deprived, repeatedly uttering mysterious cries. Then he began to aimlessly wave his hands, trying to find other people. Seeing Pang Hu approaching him, Lin Yushu immediately covered his eyes and muttered, "I am blind, I can't see anything." And Pang Hu, as if he hadn't seen him, simply bypassed him. Wang Destiny immediately realized the key point. As long as he did not stare at the bloody holes on their faces, his eyes would not be gouged out. Others also followed Lin Yushu's lead and quickly covered their own eyes. Wang Destiny, although knowing that this method is effective, still cautiously summoned his weapon just in case. And upon seeing this, the people behind immediately caused a commotion. What happened up front? Why did everything suddenly come to a stop? Why was someone screaming just now? Wang Destiny immediately shouted loudly upon hearing this. Everyone behind, close your eyes right away. Close your eyes. The people behind quickly followed Wang Destiny's instructions and successfully avoided Pang Hu's attack. The eerie begging sound disappeared. When can I open my eyes? At that moment, Wang Destiny suddenly heard little Li's voice saying, "It's okay. They have already left." Wang Destiny trusted him without any doubt, and suddenly opened his eyes and turned around. But what greeted him was a fierce laughter. I can't see. Give me your eyes, okay? Women believe in gods and attempt to create a new world. But instead, what she was handed was a piece of rotting black flesh. But she actually treated that piece of meat as a treasure. She even couldn't wait to consume it on the spot. Just now, Wang Destiny and the challengers were deeply trapped in the fog. And they encountered the strangeness of having their eyes gouged out just by making eye contact. And in a deserted church in the real world, Hearts came here alone. Only saw a strange crow perched on the crooked cross. And on the crow's blood-red eyes is carved a letter K. And Hearts J. Upon approaching it, bows respectfully to her. Then she devoutly murmurs, welcoming desire to descend, and fights for the new world. The raven then turned around slowly and asked, "How are the preparations going?" Seeing Hearts J's silence, the raven immediately spoke up and asked, "Has something happened?" Hearts J immediately became a little nervous and explained, "I can't figure out what his divine sequence is, but the cause seems to be an unreasonable accident." The crow suddenly turned around and said, "In the divine sequence that I know, there is no such cost as an unreasonable accident." Hearts J couldn't help but ask in confusion, "He has become a useless person. Why not just kill him? Is his divine sequence really that important?" As soon as these words were spoken, the crow immediately spread its wings and abruptly turned to gaze at her. Then those eyes suddenly emitted a red light, accompanied by a cold, hoarse voice saying, "Are you questioning God?" As soon as the words fell, Hearts J immediately felt a huge pressure rushing over. She quickly knelt down with a thud, repeatedly saying, "I dare not." The crow then expressed satisfaction. "Our intentions should not be too obvious, to avoid arousing the suspicion of the surveillance bureau. That woman is a great opportunity. She needs to fully blossom." Hearts J quickly sat up and nodded. "I have already handed her over to Club 7. We will definitely make this flower of desire fully bloom in this city." And the crow's belly suddenly swelled up. "Also, there is another important thing that you need to do." After saying that, the crow suddenly opened its mouth and vomited out a piece of dark flesh and blood. Then it threw that piece of flesh and blood directly in front of Hearts J. "This is the flesh of the sediment of desire, also known as the meat of Seaside City Butcher. Carry it with you and the gods will give you a new guidance." Desire World absorbs challengers by regions, and the Divine Investigation Bureau is also established based on regional divisions. In Desire World, there are also individuals dedicated to managing regions. They are called the Sediment of Desire. After explaining everything, the crow started to spread its wings. While flying out of the church, it left behind a desire for welcome to descend, fighting for the new world. Hearts J then picked up that piece of flesh and murmured, "The sediment of desire. Wait for me to replace Hearts K and Diamonds K, and can no longer instruct me to do anything. Butcher hopes you won't let me down." Then Hearts J burst into laughter. She swallowed that piece of flesh. At the same time, Wang Destiny, whose eyes were almost gouged out, he promptly used the power of logic chain to strengthen himself and blasted away the bizarre entity. However, the transformed bizarre little Li once again leaped forward. "Give me your eyes." In the next moment there was a sudden explosive sound, and Wang Destiny's fist fiercely slammed on its body, while the other two had already walked far away mysteriously. At this moment they also turned back and rushed towards Wang Destiny. Wang Destiny felt blood flowing from his eyes again, so he decisively shut his eyes immediately. Even though he closed his eyes, Wang Destiny, who possesses logic chain enhancement, dodges very swiftly. He can even counterattack with a flying kick in the gaps between dodges. After using a flying kick to drive away the two nearby the occults, Wang Destiny immediately moved his wrist and said, "Watch closely, my punch will be very handsome." After speaking, he chuckled. Then he infused the power of logic chain enhancement into his hands. Just then Wang Destiny suddenly kicked the ground, raised his fist, and struck towards the occult in front of him. Even with his eyes closed, this punch still hit the occult's face accurately, and the occult was instantly sent flying out as if hit by a truck. Immediately, Wang Destiny flipped her hair and said pretentiously, "Don't go for so long, indeed rudeness is more suitable for me." With this remark, the occult, who had just struggled to stand up, suddenly froze in place. While Wang Destiny smirked at them and said, "Are you scared? That means you still have consciousness. No, human consciousness should be gone. What exists is the consciousness of monsters. Therefore you must have been controlled, right?" As soon as this was said, tomato sauce began to overflow from the occult's eye sockets. Wang Destiny immediately understood that the other party intended to dig out his eyes this way. But Wang Destiny was not planning to give them another chance. With a push of his foot, he accelerated and flew out again. The next second, he swiftly grabbed the heads of 2 members of the occult as they flashed towards him. Then he fiercely smashed them together, causing them to disappear instantly. The powerful logic chain enhancement allowed Wang Destiny to effortlessly defeat 3 opponents single-handedly. The timid girls in the team timidly opened their eyes, and Lin Yushu gave a thumbs up, boosting morale by saying, "You've become stronger, well done." But Wang Destiny's brow remained furrowed. He clearly noticed that when he just used logic chain, although the mist was pushed back more than 10 meters away, it did not disappear. Instead, it coiled like a snake, waiting for an opportunity. He immediately wiped the ketchup off his face and reminded them, "Stay alert, the old cunning bee hasn't shown up yet." The boy casually formed a hand seal during the challenge of desires. He actually unleashed a powerful fireball jutsu. He even gave himself the title of Uchiha. Just now, Wang Destiny keenly sensed the existence of the boss still lurking in the mist. Upon seeing Lin Yushu in a panic, Wang Destiny began to speak. "We have always been working together. If there is a problem, it should be a problem that we face together. So here comes the question. Who dug out the first person's eyes?" Now Lin Yushu also understands. Digging out eyes only works if you see the monster. So the first person to have their eyes dug out saw the monster. That is the real monster. In other words, the real monster is very likely hidden in the mist. Lin Yushu feels that his analysis in this wave is really clever. But at this moment, a mysterious hand suddenly rested on his shoulder. Then it let out a hoarse scream. "I can't see, can you give me your eyes?" Lin Yushu was scared to death in an instant. Is my sequence really just luck? I never encounter good things, but bad things always show up. What kind of stupid stuff have I understood? Then Lin Yushu rubbed his eyes. He immediately noticed that his hand was covered in something sticky. Then he quickly closed his eyes and yelled, "I can't see. I am blind." But the creature the occult was still clinging to him from behind. Lin Yushu was instantly shocked that the occult did not leave. Oh no, the previous methods did not work on this creature. If this continues, my fate will definitely end up like Pang Hu and the others. Become a monster who has lost his eyes. In the meantime, Wang Destiny spoke up. "Don't be afraid. He wants eyes, right? If necessary, give them to him. Why are you still standing there if you don't want to give it to him? Use fire." Although using external objects is considered a foul in the game, our game is not fair from the beginning. I am waiting for you to turn the tables in the end. What are you waiting for? As soon as these words were said, Lin Yushu was instantly confused, completely unable to react. Wang Destiny quickly reminded. "This monster is so swollen it must have drowned. In heavy fog, water is everywhere, so it must fear fire. Now is the perfect opportunity. Quickly use your divine sequence to burn it to death." Lin Yushu was even more shocked this time. Since when did my divine sequence become fire-based? How did I not know about this? However, at this moment, Wang Destiny suddenly used lip reading to signal him. "Quick, crouch down now." Lin Yushu had no idea at all what tricks Wang Destiny was up to. But Wang Destiny signaled again to quickly squat down and let him take care of it. However, Lin Yushu misunderstood, hurriedly asking me to quickly get rid of it. Wang Destiny knows about my divine sequence. So why did he say that? Although I don't know how he figured it out, I choose to believe unconditionally. He then began to rapidly perform hand seals while yelling loudly, "From the heights of Babel, burn and become a sun." Wang Destiny saw the monster and froze in place. Wang Destiny seized the opportunity to try to deal with the monster immediately. But unexpectedly, Lin Yushu suddenly took a deep breath. Then he suddenly turned around and fiercely spat out a surging blaze, unleashing the fire release. Great fire annihilation technique. This great fire turned out to be unexpectedly strong. The entire mist was roasted by the flames. Even Wang Destiny was shocked by Lin Yushu's performance. I'm tired. You're really good at using fire release. Upon hearing the sound, Lin Yushu immediately turned around. Then he spoke in a very pretentious manner, saying, "How can I be afraid of my brother's hardship and also afraid of my brother driving a Land Rover? Oh, my foolish little brother." The crisis was smoothly resolved, but fear spread among the crowd. Moreover, this fog also claimed the lives of 3 people. The man who was helping to bury Pang, who suddenly spoke up. Old Pang, even though he's a bit selfish, had no other choice. He used to be a troublemaker when he was young, but after getting married he supported his family by driving a taxi. Perhaps because his own first half of life was unsatisfactory, his children are disciplined, do well in school, and are sensible. If they didn't have the talent, that would be one thing, but how could parents with talented children not cultivate them? Therefore, after getting his children's consent, Old Pang found a tutoring class which costs 1,000 per session, totaling 3,000 a month. With the combined income of him and his wife, they can only barely keep the family running. Unfortunately, things don't always go as planned. His father fell ill and is currently lying in the hospital. Just the medical expenses alone are 4,000 to 5,000 per day. On his first entry into Desire World, he needed money to save his father. His desires came true. His son, together with some troublemakers, robbed a jewelry store, resulting in a criminal record. The second time, he wanted his son's criminal record to disappear. His desires came true, and his son was diagnosed with a mental illness, and his charge was reduced from accomplice to instigator, resulting in a more lenient sentence. The third time, he wanted his son to return to normal. His wife couldn't accept this sudden change and jumped off a building to commit suicide. His son, shaken awake, also learned about the existence of Desire World. He blamed everything on Pang, who now he thinks about seeking death every day, wanting to use this method to enter Desire World to revive his mother. A once happy family, a gentle and virtuous wife is no longer at peace, and the spirited youth is now in a slump. Is this Desire World the hope that God gives us? Bullshit. It's all bullshit. This is a one-way street. We have no chance to turn back, nor the courage to do so. There are no beginners in this mission. Everyone has been to Desire World before. They all understand what Jinjie is saying, and they also know what Jinjie wants to say. Even if they know that the way to fulfill their desires may be unacceptable to them, they will not give up as long as there is a glimmer of hope. Just as Jinjie said, this is a one-way street that can only be followed all the way. Wang Destiny couldn't help but recall past challenges inside. When desire entangles the body, death becomes a release instead. He immediately thought of Zhu Yao. What about the Zhu Yao who was revived by us? How is she doing now? At this moment, Luo De suddenly said, "I'm sorry everyone. I didn't expect this to happen either. There was a hint last night and Luo Ming also told you all. However, we just didn't receive any hints just now." But Luo Ming interrupted him. The desire challenge itself is full of dangers. Whether we can receive hints or not is not up to us. Everyone, we also do not want such things to happen. Due to mission constraints, my brother and I cannot lend a hand. We can only watch silently. Breaking the rules will only bring danger more quickly. I am sorry everyone, but I believe God will bless us. The girl unexpectedly received instructions to dedicate herself. But she unexpectedly started to self-harm in front of everyone. Just now, Wang Destiny and others finally resolved the eerie mist and continued to move forward. After the incidents with the ghost shadows and the mist, everyone regarded Wang Destiny as the backbone. Of course, Lin Yushu's fire release also shocked many people, unanimously considering him a big shot. Even Wang Destiny couldn't help but be curious about how he did it. However, he had a second thought. Wang Destiny guessed that it must be related to his divine sequence. But Lin Yushu is also not very clear about it. This kind of situation has never happened before. But I can't really keep having bad luck, right? But he also secretly tried. There is no way to spew fire again. Wang Destiny immediately began to analyze luck, which refers to unlikely good things happening, such as finding money when destitute, finding toilet paper in the bathroom when not brought, or even catching a bus after being late, and so on. What I want to say is, does your divine sequence have another hidden ability? In certain specific situations, you may possess abilities that you shouldn't have. Put simply, it's like having incredible luck when facing a life-threatening situation. Lin Yushu's eyes immediately lit up with stars. Is it true? I feel terrifyingly strong right now. Time quickly comes to the night. After dark, like last night, only one tent is used by Luoda and Luoming. The others have lit several bonfires and tried to make their shadows as light as possible using the method from last night. However, the ghostly figures from last night did not appear. But suddenly one of the women spoke up. "Young man, someone has told me a lot of things. He demanded that we must unconditionally devote ourselves. Later, he also brought us back to the village and asked us to have our family members also offer everything." Lin Yushu was suddenly dumbfounded at the words. "And then what do we need to offer?" The woman's face darkened as she spoke. "Didn't I just say to offer everything?" The woman gave a cold laugh and crossed her arms in front of her. Then she violently tore at her own flesh, laughing and saying, "Offer everything. He wants us to offer everything. Everything we have, including our lives." The woman's self-harming behavior immediately caused everyone's expression to change drastically. The challengers couldn't help but let out fearful screams. But the woman seemed to not feel the pain on her body. Instead, she began to laugh hysterically. Then she shifted her gaze towards the crowd and said coldly, "Now it's your turn." As soon as she finished speaking, a group of terrifying monsters immediately rushed out from the forest. Even Wang Destiny couldn't help but change his expression when he saw this scene. Seeing the group of monsters attacking, Wang Destiny immediately grabbed Lin Yushu's hand and was about to run away. And those challengers who ran slowly were instantly torn to shreds by the monsters. Wang Destiny quickly threw Lin Yushu out, and then urged him to use fire release. However, after trying, Lin Yushu found that he couldn't spew out a single bit of flame at all. Seeing that this unreliable teammate, Wang Destiny, had to use his own logic chain to strengthen his power and blast away the monsters around him. Then Wang Destiny turned around and shouted, "If you can't use it, find a way. Since there is a first time, there must be a second time. Remember, you are the one who will end the desire world." Upon hearing this, Lin Yushu's expression turned grave as well. Although he didn't know how he controlled the flames during the day, but he still started trying to chant the spell he inadvertently blurted out that morning. "Come from the heights of Babylon, burn into the sun."